cybersecurity analyst is staring at an alert dashboard. Classical AI flags a threat. She reads the first line. And by the time she finishes that sentence, a quantum-powered AI running tomorrow's systems has already evaluated millions of variations of that same threat, ranked them, and begun drafting responses. That's not a thought experiment. That's the gap we're heading toward. And the part that unsettles me isn't the speed itself. It's what that speed does to everything we've built our professional world around.
Yeah, and the word I keep coming back to is ceiling. Classical computing has one. It processes sequentially. One step, then the next, then the next. Think of it like solving a maze by trying every corridor in order. You'll get there eventually, but you're walking every dead end yourself. Quantum computing doesn't work that way. It can, in a sense, evaluate many corridors at once. Not magic, not infinite, but for certain classes of problems, the difference in practical speed is enormous. And when you attach that to an AI agent that's already making autonomous decisions, the ceiling doesn't just lift, it disappears. That's the structural shift, isn't it? We've spent the last few years watching agentic AI arrive, systems that don't just predict or classify, they actually execute. Multi-step tasks, autonomous decisions, real-world consequences. And that's already happening inside corporate governance, supply chains, security operations. But these agents are hitting limits. They're fast? Sure. They're not fast enough for the problems that actually matter. Quantum is the upgrade that changes that equation. Exactly. And the sectors where that matters most are the ones where decisions happen under pressure, with bad information. Take cybersecurity. Right now, a sophisticated attack can probe, adapt, and iterate faster than a human team can respond. Add quantum-assisted AI to the attacker's side, and the compression of time we talked about before gets dramatically worse. But flip it around. The defender with quantum capability can model threat permutations, run simulations of breach scenarios, and update response protocols in timeframes that currently don't exist. The arms race doesn't slow down. It just moves to a different altitude. Financial services is the one that makes my eyes water a bit. Portfolio optimization, risk modeling, fraud detection, regulatory stress testing. All of these are fundamentally optimization problems. How do I find the best outcome across thousands of variables that are all moving simultaneously? Classical systems approximate. They have to. Quantum systems, for the right problems, don't approximate in the same way. A bank running quantum-assisted AI agents could theoretically evaluate market scenarios and counterparty risk with a fidelity that's genuinely different in kind, not just degree. That's not a faster version of the same thing. That's a different capability entirely. The practical implication is that organizations relying on classical optimization today might discover they're operating on outdated risk models without realizing it. A quantum system can account for rare but catastrophic scenarios that classical systems filter out as statistically unlikely. It's not just about speed. It's about discovering threat vectors and opportunity vectors that were invisible at classical computational speeds. The organization that understands this distinction, that quantum advantage isn't just faster calculation, but fundamentally different perception of the problem space, will have built-in structural advantage long before competitors even recognize the shift is happening. And it spreads. Healthcare, same logic. Drug interaction modeling, clinical trial design, diagnostic pattern recognition across population-scale data. Supply chains, same again. Every disruption creates a cascade of downstream possibilities. A quantum-assisted system could map those cascades and re-optimize routing, inventory, and logistics in minutes, rather than days. Emergency response, manufacturing, business continuity planning. Every one of these is a problem where evaluating more possible futures faster produces better outcomes. And in each case, the organizations that get there first don't just improve. They make their competitors look like they're navigating with a paper map. But here's the bit I want to slow down on. Because there's a version of this conversation that sounds like the humans just get faster horses. Don't just improve. They make their competitors look like they're navigating with a paper map. But here's the bit I want to slow down on. Because there's a version of this conversation that sounds like the humans just get faster horses. And I don't think that's right. The faster the system, the more the bottleneck shifts. If quantum AI can evaluate millions of options before I finish my coffee, then the constraint isn't computational anymore. It's something else. It's the quality of the objective I gave it. It's the ethical boundaries I set before it ran. It's whether I asked it the right question in the first place. Technology accelerates execution. It does not determine purpose, and that distinction is the whole game. That's the part that changes professional life more than the raw speed does. Because organizations will increasingly depend on people who can think in systems, who can define good objectives, who can spot when an optimized outcome is technically correct and humanly wrong. Accountability doesn't migrate to the machine. Risk management, governance, ethical judgment, those stay stubbornly human. The AI can tell you the fastest path. It cannot tell you whether the destination is worth reaching. And as these systems become more autonomous, the leaders who understand that will matter enormously. The ones who treat it as a faster spreadsheet probably won't see the wall coming until they're already through it. And that's the uncomfortable question worth leaving open. The future doesn't obviously belong to the organization with the fastest AI. It might belong to the one that figured out what wisdom looks like when the machine can outrun your reaction time. Are we building toward that? Or are we just trying to keep up, hoping the speed itself is the strategy?